You're listening to LoopIt Radio. Today's episode features Sandra and Alex. Let's loop it.
Okay, so let's start with this really intense question. Would you risk burning alive for $500,000?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds hypothetical, right? But that's the core premise of what we're diving into today.
Exactly. This isn't just a thought experiment. We're looking at a series of real documented challenges, incredibly dangerous ones, faced by a professional stuntman named Eric.
That's right. We've got all this source material, blueprints, personal accounts, detailing this massive fire-themed spectacle. 7 challenges, 7 death traps, mostly involving fire, all for a shot at $500,000.
7. Primarily fire. And, looking through the sources, the people filming this stuff, they weren't exactly calm about it.
No kidding. You see quotes like, this is going to be crazy, and this is the craziest thing we've ever filmed. It sets the tone immediately.
It really does. So our mission today, for you listening, is to kind of get past just the wow factor. We want to dig into how Eric managed the escalating risk, right?
Yeah, and the technical side, too. The sheer precision needed from the production team to even stage these things safely, or, well, relatively safely.
And maybe most importantly, what was driving him. There's this really powerful personal motivation that comes up later, and it seems like the ultimate fuel for everything he went through.
Absolutely. So he starts with that potential $500,000 prize. But as the sources show almost instantly, potential and reality in this kind of extreme content, they're very different things, especially when fire and collapsing buildings are involved.
Yeah, it's not just about being fast or strong. It's pain tolerance. It's executing perfectly under pressure.
And it's also, interestingly, about the psychology of risk-taking, the behavioral economics, when the stakes are literally life and limb.
Okay, let's just jump straight into it then. Trap number 1, escape from the inferno. Where do we even start with this?
Well, the setting is straight out of a disaster movie. You've got the structure, it's collapsing, the whole room's basically engulfed in flames, fire around the door, smoke everywhere.
Just pure chaos.
Total chaos. And the danger isn't theoretical, it's immediate. Eric's job is to get in there and grab bags of cash, that initial $500,000, while this whole place is coming down around him.
So the fire is bad, obviously, but it sounds like the speed of the destruction is the real killer.
Exactly. Things are buckling, beams are falling, smoke inhalation is a huge risk. He has to move incredibly fast, which, makes everything even more dangerous.
There's like zero room for error. He's dodging debris, trying to grab this cash. And the sources mention the crew just freaking out at one point.
Yeah, you hear the host yelling, he's on fire, he's literally on fire. And then someone, Nolan, has to rush in with a fire extinguisher.
Wow, so we're talking seconds away from actual disaster.
Absolutely. It really hammers home how real the danger is from the get-go. But it also leads to the first big setback for Eric.
Right, the money. He gets through the fire, but not all the cash does.
Nope. The fire eats up half of it. $250,000 of that initial $500 get gone, turned to ash.
So right out of the gates, boom, prize pool slashed in half. Can we talk about the psychological impact of that? He just risked serious injury, maybe worse.
And he walks away with only half the potential prize. Yeah, it's huge.
It completely changes his mindset, right? He's not defending a big lead anymore. He's immediately playing catch up. He's in recovery mode.
That's a really critical point. Behavioral economics tells us that after a big loss like that, losing 50% right away, people tend to become more willing to take risks. They're trying to recoup what they lost, the sunk cost idea.
So he's not just trying to survive the next trap. He's actively trying to win back the money that literally burned up.
Exactly. That demands a more aggressive approach.
Yeah.
Which sets up trap 2 perfectly.
Okay, trap 2, the flaming leap of faith. The visuals here sound kind of insane. Eric's high up over a giant pond of flaming water.
Right. And the host even comments like, I didn't know you could light water on fire until we filmed this.
Huh. So how does that even work? You can't really light water on fire, can you?
Well, no, not the water itself. What they likely did, technically speaking, is use a layer of something flammable that floats on top, like maybe naphtha or kerosene, something less dense than water.
Ah, okay, so it's a thin film of fuel burning on the surface.
Precisely. It looks spectacular, looks impossible, but it's controlled. It shows the kind of careful chemical engineering behind the spectacle.
Makes sense. So back to Eric. He's up there looking at this flaming pond, and he has a choice. 3 bags of cash hanging out over the water.
Yeah, and each choice sets his potential prize money going forward. Option 1 actually lowers his prize by $100,000. He rejects that pretty fast, calls it too easy.
Okay, understandable given the loss he just took. What's option 2?
Option 2 is just stay put. Keep the $250,000 he managed to save from the fire. Safe, but no gain.
And option 3, the risky one.
Option 3, he has to make a 10-foot jump over the flaming water to grab a bag worth $300,000 total. So it adds $50,000 to his current pot.
Okay, here's my question. Is risking everything falling into fire, losing all the money, really worth it just for an extra $50,000?
Logically, maybe not. It's a huge risk for what seems like a moderate reward, right? A 20% gain versus losing 100%.
Yeah.
But psychologically, after that big loss in Trap 1, getting any gain is crucial. He's not just chasing $50, he's chasing momentum. He's trying to get back to a number that feels like he's still properly in the game.
So it's about the psychological win as much as the cash.
I think so. He needs to feel like he's fighting back, reclaiming something. Plus, he's a pro stuntman. Playing it safe might actually dull the mental edge he needs for the harder stuff coming up.
So he decides to risk it all for the $300,000.
He does, and he makes the jump. Interestingly, the host comments, that was nowhere near 10 feet.
Wow.
Which maybe highlights how visually intimidating it looked, even if the actual distance wasn't quite that far.
But he makes it, grabs the bag, hangs on.
Yep. Secures the $300,000. He got that win he needed. He's back on the offense.
All right, so he's clawed back some ground, $300,000. Now we move into what you call the second act, shifting from just survival to precision.
Exactly. Trap 3, the human cannon calibrated. This is where the sheer technical side of this production really comes into focus.
A human cannon. Okay, tell me about this setup.
It's huge. Human-sized cannon, obviously. And it's aimed towards 2 targets. There's a safe yellow ring land. In that, he keeps his $300,000.
Safe bet.
Safe bet. But then there's an outer ring, a ring of fire. Land in that. And he adds $50,000, bringing the potential total up to $350,000.
But if he misses both?
He loses everything. Game over. It's a classic risk-reward setup, but with, a human projectile.
Which immediately makes you wonder, how on earth do you aim something like that? The power, the angle for a person.
Right. And the production team addresses that directly. They don't just stuff him in and fire. There's a calibration process.
Ah, okay. How does that work?
They give Eric 3 stunt dummies, essentially crash test dummies. And he gets to fire them off first to dial in the settings. It turns it from a guess into more of a physics problem.
So he's collecting data like an engineer.
Pretty much. Let's track it. Dummy 1, the orange one, they set the cannon to 75% power, adjust the angle a bit, boom. Lands perfectly right in the middle of the safe yellow ring.
Okay, so baseline confirmed. He knows how to secure the $300.
Yep. But he wants that extra $50 in the fire ring. So for dummy 2, the blue one, they increase the power slightly, raise the angle a bit, aiming for the outer ring. Disaster. It misses completely, lands between the rings, which for Eric would mean losing everything.
Wow. Okay, that's terrifying data. The margin for error is tiny.
Exactly. That failed shot is maybe the most important piece of information. It tells him just how small the difference is between $300,000 and zero.
So what does he do for the third dummy? The red one.
He keeps the angle from the second shot, but cranks the power way up, like 10 points higher. Very. And the result, it barely makes it into the fire ring, just scrapes in. So now he has these data points. Too low, too high, but barely in.
So he has to find the sweet spot.
Right. Based on that, he decides his final setting. Power up by 5 points from the last shot.
Yeah.
A calculated adjustment, aiming for the middle of that fire ring. Pure calculation.
It's calculated, but still incredibly risky. And right before he takes that shot, this is where the story takes a really personal turn, isn't it?
Yes, this is huge. Right before they fire him, Eric reveals why he's doing all this. It's not just for the thrill or even just the money itself. It's about his father.
Tell us about that.
He talks about his dad's health.
Yeah.
Battling cancer. Describes it as a up and down roller coaster. And he says point blank, he needs this money for their retirement, for his dad's continued health, the medical bills. It's overwhelming.
Oh, man, that changes everything. Suddenly risking it all for that extra $50,000. It's not greed.
Not at all. It reframes the entire stunt. It's an act of desperation almost, an investment driven by love and necessity.
And the host's reaction in the source material, saying something like, I do the same for my mom, it's freaking awesome, that feels important. It validates the craziness.
It does. It connects the audience to the why. This money is absolutely vital to Eric. Which means that extra $50K isn't just a bonus, it feels non-negotiable to him. He feels like he has to take the shot.
And does he make it?
He does. He launches, flies through the air, and lands right in the ring of fire. Success. Adds the $50,000.
Wow. So he is up to $350,000. Earned the hard way.
Absolutely. Precision, calculation, and that deep emotional drive paid off.
Right.
But the next trap, it throws precision right out the window.
Okay. What's trap 4?
Trap 4, the race against the meteor.
The race against the meteor. Seriously.
The setup is pure chaos theory.
Right.
Picture a room, okay, filled with fireworks, and those fireworks contain the cash.
Okay. Dangerous enough already.
But wait, there's more. Suspended above this room is a literal burning meteor.
A burning meteor.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
And it's rigged to crash down and ignite the entire room, fireworks and all, in exactly 5 minutes.
5 minutes to grab the cash from a room full of fireworks under a burning meteor.
Got it.
And there's potentially $400,000 available in this room. So another chance for a $50,000 bonus on top of his current $350K.
So what's the task? Just run in and grab bags.
Not quite that simple. He has to use a grappling hook, something he explicitly says he has never thrown before, to snag the bags and drag them onto the bed of a truck, all before the timer hits 0.
A grappling hook he's never used. Against a 5-minute timer with fireworks and meteor.
Yep. It introduces this massive element of just sheer uncontrolled human error. Unlike the cannon, which was about precision, this is about speed, luck, and dealing with an unfamiliar tool under insane pressure.
How does he do?
He starts fast, gets the first bag pretty quickly. But he notes how heavy the bags are. It's not just paper money. It's got real weight. It's physically demanding.
Okay.
By the halfway mark, 2.5 minutes in, he's managed to secure $200,000, exactly half the money available in the room. So far, so good? Or is that where things go wrong?
That's where it starts to unravel. The grappling hook becomes the enemy. He starts missing throws. It gets tangled. Seconds are just ticking away, wasting precious time.
And the meteor is still up there.
Oh, yeah. And worse, the sources point out that fire is actually dripping from it, like little bits of burning material falling down towards the fireworks.
Oh my God. So it could go off early?
Any second. The danger isn't just the timer hitting 0, it's a random drip setting off the whole thing prematurely. The crew is genuinely scared.
I bet. The sources mentioned they needed blast shields.
Yeah, the hosts are like, we literally need to be behind these blast shields or we could, like, die. This isn't just TV danger. It feels like real imminent volatility.
So does he get all the money out?
He doesn't. Time just runs out. In the frantic final seconds, the crew has to yell at him to get out, evacuate.
His lunch gets left behind.
$100,000. Just sitting there as the meteor finally crashes down, triggering this massive explosion. It's so big it apparently burns out the power cables they were using.
Wow. So he risked everything in the cannon for an extra $50 K, got it, and then immediately lost $100 in this chaos trap.
Exactly. It's such a brutal reversal. It perfectly shows what happens when you swap that calculated precision for just speed and luck with an unfamiliar element like the grappling hook.
So after all that, his prize pool is back down to $300,000, where he was before the cannon shot.
Yep. A really tough psychological blow, especially knowing why he needs that money so badly.
Okay, wow. After an exploding meteor, you'd think maybe they'd ease up a bit, give him a breather.
Well, they do give him a breather, sort of, but in possibly the most surreal way imaginable. Trap 5. We're calling it the beast stick break.
Beast stick break, what?
Yeah, but get this. After surviving the meteor, they take Eric back to the first room, the burning room from Trap 1.
They relit it.
Apparently.
Yeah.
It's on fire again, and Eric is trapped inside, chained up.
Okay. And how does he get out? He doesn't have to find more money in there, does he?
Nope. The only way he gets cut free is if he gives a heartfelt, convincing endorsement for the host's brand new Jack Link's Mr. Beast beef stick.
You're kidding me.
I wish I were. It's just peak 21st century content absurdity, isn't it?
Totally. So he's literally chained in a burning room.
Yeah.
And the price of freedom is a good review for jerky.
Pretty much. And the dialogue is just gold.
Yeah.
The host keeps pressing him like, are you sure it's good? You're not just saying that because you're chained up in a fire.
And what does Eric say? Still probably catching his breath from the meteor explosion?
He insists, no, it's actually really good. They even make him comment on the packaging before they finally let him go.
That is something else. What do you make of that? Just a shameless plug, or is there something more going on?
I mean, it's definitely a plug, right? But placing it there in that specific moment of high danger and absurdity, it's kind of brilliant in a weird way. It completely breaks the tension, forces this moment of like mundane commercial reality right into the middle of the life or death stuff. It highlights the whole engine behind these massive spectacles.
The money has to come from somewhere.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, yeah, this is dangerous and crazy, but it's also brought to you by beef sticks. It gives the audience a weird laugh, but also reminds you This whole thing is a business. Every stunt, every explosion is funded.
So a moment of commercial relief before plunging back into the fire.
Pretty much. Because after the Beast Stick endorsement and the plug for the 4 flavors and 5 grams of protein, the tension ramps right back up for Trap 6.
Okay, what's Trap 6? Please tell me it doesn't involve product placement.
No. This one shifts focus entirely. It's called Chain to Trust, and it's about relationships.
Chain to Trust. Okay, that sounds ominous. What's the setup here?
They bring in someone else, Eric's best friend, a guy named Pat.
His best friend.
Yep. And the introduction is key. Eric apparently said earlier he'd trust Pat with his life and, crucially, with every dollar in his bank account.
Okay, setting the stakes high for friendship. So what do they have to do?
They are literally chained together with a very short chain, which is important. It seriously restricts how they can move independently.
Okay, chained together.
And they have to climb a 50-foot tower, which is positioned over open fire.
Of course it is.
While climbing, they need to collect 6 bags of money. This represents the $300,000 Eric currently has, plus that potential $50,000 bonus again. So $350K total up for grabs.
Chained together, climbing a tower over fire, grabbing money bags. What's the catch, besides everything I just said?
The catch is the trust element, baked into the rules. If either one of them falls, it's over. Video ends, Eric loses all the money, not just the bonus, everything.
Wow. So Eric's entire $300,000 is riding not just on his own performance, but on his best friend's too.
Exactly. It's a challenge designed to test that trust, that reliance. When you do a solo stunt, you control your own variables, right? Here, Eric is completely dependent on Pat's ability, his coordination, his nerve.
And the short chain forces them to work together.
Perfectly. They can't make separate moves. They can't even really rest independently. Every single step up that tower requires communication, coordination, synergy.
Yeah, the sources mention them constantly talking like, give me some slack, got space, stuff like that.
And the platforms they're climbing on are apparently moving slightly too, just to make it even harder.
So how do they manage?
They start, well, grab the first $50 K bag quickly.
Yeah.
But you can sense the difficulty, the awkwardness of moving tethered like that.
What do you think is harder for Eric here? The physical climb or the mental stress of relying on someone else?
That's a great question. I think it's the mental stress. He's a pro. He can probably handle the climb. But watching his friends struggle, knowing Pat holds the fate of that desperately needed $300,000 in his hands,
yeah,
that's a different kind of pressure.
Especially knowing why he needs the money. The pressure on Pat must have been immense too.
Absolutely. The final bag, the bonus $50, is apparently the hardest to get. They really have to stretch, work together perfectly for that last grab.
Do they pull it off?
They do. They manage to secure all 6 bags, get all the money, and reach the top of the tower together.
Amazing. So that trust was validated.
Completely. It's a victory for teamwork and coordination. And importantly, it brings Eric's prize pool back up to $350,000.
Yeah.
Exactly where he was before the meteor trap disaster.
Okay, $350,000 secured. We've been through collapsing buildings, flaming water, cannons, meteors, beef sticks, trust falls. What could possibly be left? This has to be the end, right?
Not quite. There's one final challenge, Trap 7, the final gauntlet. And according to the hosts, this is the hardest one of the entire series.
Harder than all that. How?
It's about complexity and endurance. It's not just one single stunt. It's an entire obstacle course, 5 distinct stages, each building on the last, testing everything he's got left.
An obstacle course involving fire, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. Lots of fire. But the real killer here, the time limit.
There's a timer.
A brutally tight one. He has to complete the entire 5-stage course in under 1 minute and 5 seconds.
1 minute. 5 seconds. That seems impossibly short for 5 stages. How did they even come up with that number?
That's the interesting part. They had 4 other professional stuntmen try the course beforehand. 1.05 was the average time it took them.
The average. So basically he has to perform like a top-tier stunt pro with absolutely 0 mistakes just to meet the average time.
Exactly. It's engineered to be just barely possible, demanding peak performance from start to finish.
Okay, break down the course for us. What are these 5 stages?
All right, stage 1 starts with another cannon launch. Then he has to navigate multiple rings of fire. After that, dodge, swing, and hammers. Then swim underneath a section of fire, and finally a mad dash across a massive fire hallway to grab the money before it burns up completely.
Cannon, fire rings, hammers, swimming under fire, fire hallway sprint, all in 65 seconds. Is there any way to catch a breath?
There is one crucial mechanic, safe zones. Scattered throughout the course are specific spots where, if he reaches them, the timer pauses.
Okay. So it breaks the course down into high-intensity sprints between safe zones.
Precisely. Without those, 1.05 would be literally impossible. They allow a microsecond to reset, refocus, before the next burst of activity. It's designed to manage that fight-or-flight response, just barely.
Okay, let's track him through it. Stage 1. Cannon and rings of fire. How does he start?
He launches from the cannon, hits that first safe zone pretty quickly. Timer stops. He's got 55 seconds left on the clock.
So he lost 10 seconds right off the bat, just from the cannon launch and landing.
Yep. He apparently says he feels good, but losing 10 seconds immediately puts him under pressure. The next bit involves 3 flaming rings.
What's the difficulty there, just jumping through?
It's the landing. There are gaps behind the rings. If he misjudges the jump, he falls into water below, wasting precious time climbing out.
And does he?
He does. He makes it through the first 2 rings, but falls after the second one, scrambles out, hits the next safe zone. But now he only has 42 seconds left. Time is bleeding away.
42 seconds left. What's stage 2?
This is where the physical demand really ramps up. First, he has to cross these floating platforms.
Yep.
They're not anchored, so they shift and move under his weight.
Oh, that requires serious balance and core strength.
Totally.
Yeah.
Constant adjustments needed. But he gets across, hits the next safe zone. Now he's down to 34 seconds.
Okay, he's losing about 8-10 seconds per section. What's next? This must be the swimming part.
Yep. To swim under fire, he has to put on goggles, dive in, and swim under a stretch of water that has fire burning on the surface.
And going through the fire isn't an option?
Absolutely not. The hosts say it would be instantly fatal. He has to go under.
How far does he have to swim underwater?
It looks like a significant distance. The challenge is lung capacity. If he comes up for air too early, he wastes time, maybe even surfaces in the fire zone. He has to push himself right to the limit.
That sounds horrendous. Does he make it?
He does. He resurfaces, grabs onto a rope, pulls himself to the final safe zone, but just barely. He has only 17 seconds left on the clock.
17 seconds. For the entire final stage, what's left?
Just one thing. The Hall of Flames.
17 seconds for the Hall of Flames. What does he have to do?
First, he has to quickly put on a full fireproof suit and gloves.
Yeah.
This takes a few precious seconds right there.
Okay, suited up, then what?
Then it's a dead sprint.
Yeah.
Down this long corridor that is just completely engulfed in flames, intense heat, fire everywhere.
And what's the goal? Just get to the end.
Get to the end and grab the money, the $350,000, before it falls into a furnace at the end of the hall and is destroyed. No getting it back if it drops.
So the money itself is about to burn, the ultimate deadline.
Exactly. And the sources note something interesting here. For the first time in the whole series, Eric looks genuinely scared. Not of the fire, necessarily he has the suit, but scared of losing the money.
Back to the motivation. His parents' retirement fund is literally seconds away from going up in smoke.
Precisely. It all comes down to this final desperate sprint, the culmination of everything he's endured.
Does he make it? With only 17 seconds from the moment he leaves the safe zone.
He sprints, absolutely flat out, into the inferno. Now he does it. He runs through the wall of flames, grabs the money just before it falls. He beats the clock.
Yes, he did it. $350,000.
He did, but there's one last bit of danger.
Oh, come on. What now?
Even with the fireproof suit, the flames in that final hallway were so intense. As he exits, he's actually on fire again. Briefly, but seriously.
Seriously, after all that.
Yep. The crew has to jump on it with extinguishers one last time. Just a final, brutal reminder of the constant danger right up until the very last second.
Unbelievable. What a finish. So he officially walks away with $350,000.
He does. And like you said, that so of it all circles right back to why he put himself through it, that dedication to his family. It wasn't just a game. It was a mission.
Wow. Okay, let's just recap the madness we've just walked through. Eric survived a house collapsing in flames.
He leaped over burning water.
Got shot out of a cannon he helped calibrate.
Battled an exploding meteor with a grappling hook.
Endorsed a beef stick while chained in a fire.
Climbed a 50-foot tower over flames. Chained to his best friend.
And then ran a 5-stage timed fiery gauntlet that pushed him to the absolute limit. All for that $350,000.
It's an incredible sequence. And looking back at the sources, there may be 2 big takeaways for you, the listener.
What are they?
First, just the sheer level of technical complexity and, frankly, risk management involved in creating content like this now. It wasn't just about being brave. It required intense precision.
Like the cannon calibration, the safe zones, even the chemistry of the flaming water.
Exactly. They had to engineer it to look impossible while keeping the actual chance of death, well, reasonably low. Controlled chaos.
And the second takeaway?
It's that human element we kept coming back to. The spectacle, the danger.
Yeah.
It was all anchored by a really profound personal reason. That drive to care for his family, that was the core fuel. It wasn't just about money. It was about what the money represented.
Yeah, that motivation changes how you see everything he did.
Absolutely. Which leads us to a final thought for you to chew on. Consider the actual cost of that $350,000 prize.
What do you mean? He won it.
He won $350,000, yes. But remember, he started with the potential for $500,000. Yeah. That $150,000 difference. The money lost to the first fire, the money left behind during the meteor explosion.
That represents the cost of failure, the price of the chaos.
Kind of. It represents the accumulated toll, right?
Mm-hmm.
The physical exhaustion, the mental stress, the near misses, the moments where precision failed or time ran out. It's the monetary value of all the pain and fear he endured that didn't directly lead to cash in hand.
So the provocative question for you listening is, was $350,000 actually enough? Was it fair compensation for risking death multiple times, for that level of physical and psychological endurance, all compressed into this short, intense period?
What percentage of that final prize truly reflects the value of what he put himself through to secure that money for his parents? Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. That's all for this deep dive.
Thank you so much to Alex and Sandra for being here and contributing to today's discussion. We'll see you in the next episode.